Hi guys, in this video we are going to talk about apartment design. So as you already know, there is three pillars of successful Airbnb listing. The first one is photos, the second one is pricing, and the third one is good reviews. The apartment design falls within the first pillar, which is photos. Apartment with a great design is an essential part to get good quality photos. Today we are going to dive into apartment design, and we'll walk you through all the things that we think about when designing our apartments. I've made a small presentation, so we'll go through it. When we're talking about apartment design, specifically for Airbnb, we want to keep in mind two things. First is aesthetics, and then second is functionality. Both of these two things are equally important. You want your apartment to look great, to capture good photos, to attract guests. But you also want to think about functionality to make sure apartment is easy to clean and easy to maintain, to make sure you have enough storage for your cleaning crew and for any other reasons that you might need storage. We'll go into our apartments later on and show you actual examples of what we have done with our apartments in terms of aesthetics as well as functionality. So first thing is we are going to talk about aesthetics design. And I have made a list of things to keep in mind when designing aesthetic part of your apartment. If you can design apartment from zero, let's say you're getting a new apartment and designing it yourself is great. But even if you already have the apartment, or let's say you're picking up somebody else's apartment doing Airbnb arbitrage, you will still need to refresh the design to bring it up to Airbnb standards and make it a little bit more appealing to the Airbnb guests specifically. Below, we can see a few bullet points that we keep in mind while designing our apartments, so we'll go through them one by one. First is to pick a color theme. Usually, we like to pick a color theme. There's plenty of the two color combinations you can choose for. For some examples are blue and yellow. They go well together. We like orange and yellow. We also like green. If you're choosing one color only, then green is probably the best color to choose. You need to make sure that the colors that you choose are bright. You want to keep your apartment as bright as possible. I would keep to minimalistic design. Lots of people paint their walls. We always keep our walls white. The reason is our apartments are small, so white walls make them look larger. We are mainly focusing on studios or one-bedroom apartments. If you have a big house, then you can paint the walls in part of the house into darker colors, but we almost always keep the walls white. And then we put lots of pictures on the walls. We don't usually leave the walls empty, and we add more color and vibrance to the apartment by adding colorful pictures. You can have a one large picture or a few smaller pictures, sometimes one large picture broken into three smaller pictures. If you can add plants, live plants, I love plants. You can see in my background on recording of the videos that I have plenty of plants in my apartment. So keep the plants if you can, if you have a chance. Make sure you pick the plants that are easy to maintain and so that they don't die on you. If you have long bookings, you need to ask your guests to water your plants. Next thing is you gotta have a good lighting. So if you're designing your apartment from zero, make sure you put plenty of lights in the apartments. And if your apartment is already designed, then some rooms might be darker. We usually use standing lamps. Standing lamps, also different color standing lamps, fit in with our color theme well. So you will see when we get to the actual listings, our actual listings, in almost all cases, we use the standing lamps. We like them. You have to have a colorful bed cover, and you have to have colorful couch pillows. Those are two design elements that we always utilize into our listings. You should always keep in mind the cover photo. When designing your apartment, putting pictures up, purchasing pillows and cover bed and everything, you need to always keep in mind what would be the main cover photo of this for this apartment, and you make sure that the cover photo, the view inside that cover photo, is designed to best of your ability. So lots of the times we arrange the rooms in such a way that are not the most optimal one, but look the best in the cover photo of the listing. This is very important. Lots of the designers don't keep this in mind, and as an Airbnb host, I would encourage you to keep this in mind. Already have an idea what your cover photo is going to be, and design your apartment to make sure that you get the best cover photo possible. Lastly, a good tip, you can take inspiration from Airbnb Plus listings. There's a such thing called Airbnb Plus. Usually, most beautifully designed apartments are part of this program. It's mostly in large cities, and only a handful of apartments are usually part of this program. In the city where we operate, there is only like 11 apartments that participate in Airbnb Plus program. So I will show you later on few Airbnb Plus listings, and you can take inspiration from the Airbnb Plus listings. We certainly do. And last thing, you should always try to manage your costs. So don't go over your budget. So always budget yourself and manage your costs to best of your ability. After all, this is a business. You care about your return on your investment, and you need to make reasonable investments. Try not to overspend too much on any single thing. The next up is functional design. This is just as important as aesthetic design. So aesthetic design helps you attract guests. Functional designs helps you get 5-star reviews, which in turn attracts more guests. If you don't have a functional design in your apartment, in the long run, things start to break and it's going downhill. So you gotta pay huge attention to the functional design. So we'll go through the bullet points that we have listed here, and I will talk you guys through it. First thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to functional design is ease of cleaning. Lots of the times we specifically ask cleaners, how should we design our apartment so that it's easy to clean? When we buy the furniture, we always keep in mind what kind of furniture can we buy that is easy to clean. We almost never buy the furniture that is hard to clean. Like, we never do this. When we buy appliances, we think about how easy it is to clean. For example, we always use electric surfaces for cooking because they are 100 times easier to clean. Make sure everything that you purchase and put in an apartment is easy to clean, no matter how large or small the thing is. You have a coffee maker, make sure it's easy to clean. Everything that is in your apartment should be easy to clean. Then you need to make sure you have enough storage for the cleaners or for anything else. In all of our apartments, we have sections in the wardrobes or closets that are closed off, that we have keys to those storages, and only our cleaners have access to those storages. Have good quality amenities. If you're designing your apartment, make sure that you don't cheap out on amenities. Make sure that you get good quality amenities, because the worst nightmare is when something breaks and when an amenity breaks. So the maintenance of the amenities is lots of hassle. It takes lots of time. So make sure you put in good quality amenities. You have to have a good quality bed and a mattress. So we like metal frames. They're a little bit more sturdier. And then we never cheap out on the mattress. So we have a couple stores specifically that we like for the mattresses, and we always go there and purchase same mattress for every Airbnb listing. Once you find a good mattress, we stick with it, and we make sure the mattress is a good quality. Also, very important is to have a good quality pillows for sleeping. You don't want to have guests complaining about bad quality pillows. It's a small thing, not a big investment, but it elevates the quality of the sleep and satisfaction of the guest. Again, keep the design minimalistic. So minimalistic design is appealing aesthetically, at least to the newer generation. And then it also helps with the functional design. If the less things you have in your apartment, easier it is to maintain and clean. So keep that in mind. You want to make your apartment as energy efficient as possible. So energy efficient apartment helps you manage your costs better. In the long run, the cost savings add up. So it translates into the profit. So make sure that, let's say, if you're picking up the apartment for a Airbnb arbitrage, make sure that you replace all the old light bulbs with the new, more efficient LED light bulbs, things like that. And lastly, few design tips as well. Blackout curtains are must-have, improves the quality of the sleep. Full-size mirrors is a must-have. We've got this feedback from the guests. One of them asked for the full-size mirror, so all of our apartments have full-size mirrors. When people are going out, they want to see themselves before they go out, so full-size mirror is a must-have in every apartment. Comfortable work chair. So I think I missed to mention the workspace and fast internet. Your apartment has to have a workspace, as most of your guests will be working from your apartment. It has to have a workspace and it has to have a fast internet. That is a part of functional design. It's a must-have. Workspace and fast internet. If you can have two workspaces, that's even better, because if the couples are traveling together, chances are that they both want to have individual workspaces. To continue on, a comfy work chair. You must have a pretty nice work chairs. As people sit in those chairs for a long time, it makes a big difference. And it's always good to have a washing machine, especially for a long-term stays. If you are targeting the long-term stays, you have to have a washing machine. So this is pretty much all the basic core principles that you have to keep in mind while functionally designing your apartment. This will make your operations much smoother. It will make sure that your cleaning crew has easier time, and they will love you for it and they will thank you for it. If you put work into designing your apartment, it will pay dividends in the long run. Now we'll jump into our listings, and I will show you few of our listings and walk you through the design. This is our first ever listing, and the design theme here is blue and white with yellow accents from the lights. So this is the bedroom area. This is a small studio. So here the color theme is blue and yellow. This is our next apartment. This is in an old building in Old Town, downtown. So we have brick walls in this apartment. So that's why we tried to tailor our design so that we would match the brick walls. So this is in a light pink. The whole apartment is trying to match red brick walls, and the design is light pink and yellow accent with the lights. So you can see since this is an old building, we have old furniture. Lots of this furniture is super old, so it fits nicely into the design. This table is like antique table that we've refurbished, and we use this as a workspace. So next thing, I'll show you quickly the apartments that we've designed ourselves. So this is one of my favorite apartments. So here the color accent is orange and yellow. You can see the famous lamp that I talked about so much, and you can see a nice big picture. So this is a really good cover photo in my mind, because when scrolling, the colors really pop, and it's a clickbait for the potential guests. And then we have a blue and white bathroom, which is also pretty good. In here you can see a floor plan. I will try to make a video about the floor plan as well, and show you how we use the software to create these floor plans. It's pretty cool software and pretty easy to use. So next apartment is similar to last one. You can see that this is also a similar concept. We have a lamp, and this is also yellow and light orange accents. The reason we didn't do the similar apartment to the last one is because we couldn't get the couch that was the same color orange. It got sold out. So we had to go with the gray couch, and that's why we've designed this apartment a little bit differently to the other one. It's also fun to experiment with the different apartment designs, so I advise you to do the same. Next apartment is green. So here is pretty much one color concept. So we chose the color green, and everything matches to that. So I actually like green. There's lots of greenery from when you look outside from the window as well. So that's why we chose green for this apartment. You can see even in the kitchen, the chairs are green, even the curtains are green. So everything matches with the color green. And one thing also I should also mention, we really like this warm color lights, so we usually pick the yellow lights. I've gone through the few designs of our own apartments and explained to you aesthetic design. In terms of the functional design, we have storages in all of those apartments. We have workspaces. We have fast Wi-Fi. We have washing machine in all the apartments. Um, um, we've tried to make the apartments as energy efficient as possible. We've kept all the principles of functional design in mind as well. So you can see it's pretty minimalistic design. There's not that many things to break. There's not that many things to maintain. Um, it's very, very minimalistic. So you can see balcony is pretty much just two chairs and a table. That's all. So now we're going to go through some of the Airbnb Plus listings. The way you look up Airbnb Plus apartments is you come to the filters and you go down all the way and select Airbnb Plus. This is not in every city, but for most cities, you would be able to find the Airbnb Plus apartments. So you can see what kind of design falls into Airbnb Plus category. And you can pick the ones that you like and try to emulate these listings when designing your apartments. At least keep them in mind. So there's few designs here that I like. Most of them are really, really wide for my taste, but I like this first design. This is older apartment, but design is pretty cool. Like I like the accents of how brown wood looks like. So this is pretty cool. This apartment for me is bit too wide, but they do have plants which I like. You can look up Airbnb Plus listings and take inspiration from the designs. I really like this couch and the pillows. It also is red, so it pops in the cover photo. So this is a good trick, something that we would also use for our listing. It's a little bit hard to get your design right, especially if you're not designer, if you're not inclined to designing things. But I think it's fun, it's artistic, so you should give it a try. And with iterations, I will guarantee you that your designs will get better. Good luck with your designs. Make sure you work hard and pay enough attention and put enough time into designing your apartment. Um, it will pay dividends in the long run. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.